I have a confession to make. I no longer search for my true purpose. Seriously. And that might sound a bit weird, given that I'm about to celebrate 3 years of my podcast, and I've just gone to twice a week here on YouTube. You'd think all of that would mean that I'd finally found my purpose, right? So, you might be wondering why I stopped searching for my purpose in life. Here's why. I am a human being with purpose, rather than one with a purpose. See the distinction? So what I mean is that I, like you, do not have just one purpose in life and one purpose only. I can do and be almost anything I set my mind to, except maybe a chair. I can't sit still for too long. And so why would I limit myself to just one purpose for the rest of my life? And why should you? So let's talk about finding purpose and mental health. Broadly speaking, your purpose is fairly simple. Be the best version of yourself possible and grow a little each day. And you do that by doing no harm, being kind, and giving more than you take. Everything else in life is the stuff that you fill in the blanks with. You have a block of time in your life, and it's up to you to decide what to do with it. Life is a journey, and you get to decide on the scenery that you want to take along the way, and what stops you want to make. And in a world where we have infinite possibilities, there are infinite different ways for you to focus on creating purpose in your life. Although I will say that I do believe that there is a purpose to life. The purpose is to focus every day on finding greater purpose and meaning in everything you do, so that you're not just going through the motions and punching your time card until you finally check out. So many of us spend our time wondering what our purpose is and whether we're doing enough with our lives. And I think the more important question is this: are you doing something, anything, with your time on this planet that feels meaningful? It doesn't have to be your whole time, but some time. And that's going to look and feel differently to different people. Some people might feel drawn to write or sing or act. For others, it might be raising a family or being a carer for a loved one. The point is to ensure that whatever it is feels like it has at least some meaning to it, like you're not just going through the motions, because that's what leads to feelings of sadness and disappointment if it feels meaningless. Never allow yourself to just go through the motions in life. Let me take a moment to talk about what purpose is not. First, it's not something that's decided for you at birth and that you then have to try and figure out. And it's also not fixed, because you are a human being who can grow and evolve. And so that naturally means that what feels purposeful and meaningful to you will grow and evolve as well, and that's okay. Your purpose is not set in stone, and it's not meant to be a mystery that requires you to take a $12,000 course to discover. So let's talk about why finding purpose matters. And it matters because without a sense of direction, you'll just wander through life trying to figure out why nothing feels fulfilling. And that leads to issues with your mental health. There's a huge difference between feeling a sense of purpose in what you do versus having to find a purpose and stick to it. Forget about trying to find your one purpose in life and focus on finding your purpose now, at this point in time, because that's what helps you to feel like you're doing something meaningful with your life. So how do you do that? Well, here are 4 ideas to get you started, then I'll tell you where to go for more. First, think about how to turn your passions and experiences into a purpose. Because nobody on this planet has lived exactly the same life as you, and that's what makes you unique. So how can you draw from that to find ways to make your life feel purposeful and meaningful? For example, I turned my breakdown and mental health challenges from something painful into something purposeful, because now I do work and create content that helps other people to find their way through difficult times. And that feels like a really rewarding way to draw on those tough times that I went through. So think about how you can leverage your own life experiences as well as the things that you're passionate about. Next, consider the life you want. Because when you know what you want, you can begin to think about what you will and will not do to turn that into reality. If you're not totally sure what you want your life to be like in the future, that's okay. Use that as a starting point to begin figuring out your broad vision for your future self. You can take your time with this, and it's completely fine to change your mind at any time. You don't have to have it all figured out at once, and frankly, you'll most likely be figuring things out for the rest of your life, because that's just part of being human. Okay, next, put yourself in new situations. Because when things stay the same, they stay the same. If you want to grow and evolve, then you need to expose yourself to new ideas, new situations, and new ways of looking at the world. When you do that, you'll find new possibilities. Spend time with positively focused people, Read, study, talk to people you might not normally talk to, go to new places and explore new things. You're not going to find a sense of purpose and meaning by just doing the exact same thing every single day for the rest of your life. So challenge yourself to try new things. Okay, next, ask for feedback on your strengths. And by this I mean to ask the people closest to you, like your family and friends, as well as trusted work colleagues, or perhaps even a mentor, coach, or therapist, for their perspective on your unique skills and talents. Because sometimes other people notice things about us that we don't, or which we just take for granted. And that can really help you to see other possibilities and different avenues that you can explore. This also involves you considering your strengths by tapping into your self-awareness. And I talk about how to do that in my book, Let's Talk About Mental Health Volume 1, which is available on Amazon and Apple Books, and it's linked in the episode description below. So here's the main point I want you to think about with all of this finding purpose stuff. After everything that we've lived through these past few years, the days of just going through the motions in our work and in our life are well and truly over. More and more of us are realizing that we get to choose the path that we create for ourselves, and we didn't go through months and months of being locked in our homes just to feel like we're wasting our lives doing meaningless and mind-numbing tasks every day. I mean, is it just me? Am I the only one who wants a better life that actually feels like it has some sense of purpose to it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know. And once you've identified what you want to try in order to find greater purpose in your life, you'll want to learn new skills, which is what I cover in this video. So watch that next to find out how to build your capabilities for better mental health. And you'll find more practical tips for finding purpose in your life in episode 150 of the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast, which is linked below. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care and talk to you next time.